Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Ray here again with Smith Government Consulting. Unless you've been living under a rock for the last couple of months, you definitely know that there's a little bit of turmoil right now in the federal marketplace. A lot of questions on what's going to happen between hiring freezes, reduction in workforces, spending freezes. So many questions out there, and unfortunately, not a lot of answers yet. But the one thing I am encouraging my vendors to do is stay the course. If you're on GSA contract, now's a great time, very vital time, in fact, to continue updating your GSA contract. I do think that we're going to start to see some slightly longer lead times between mod approvals coming up. So the sooner you get those in, the better. So to that point, we're going to take a look today at the product file again and how to do some modifications in the FCP. We've already looked at how to do a deletion mod. We've looked at how to do an addition mod. So today we're going to look at how to do an EPA, or an economic price adjustment. Most of you probably know that as a price increase mod. So to do that, I do have my generic product file that I've created. These are some of my movies that I have in my collection. If you want, you can hit pause anywhere in here. Take a look at some of my random commentary on these. These are the movies that I'm using for the product file. So again, we can see we have our manufacturer part number, vendor part number, the SIN, the item name, the product description. Now, of course, if you were doing this for real on GSA Advantage, you're going to want a much better product description than this. This is just something I worked up in a couple of minutes here. I didn't have a lot of time to write a full 1,000-character product description. But for your catalog listing, that's something you will want to do. Scrolling over, we have our commercial price, my MFC name, I have state local, my MFC price, my government price without the IFF, and my government price with the IFF. Reminder, this is the amount that you are going to take home on every sale. This is the amount here that you're going to charge your customer. The difference between the two is that 0.75%. That's your IFF that you pay back to GSA every quarter. Scrolling over, we see my delivery days. I'm doing FOB origin because I don't want to pay for shipping. My photos, company URL. Highly recommend this site. The warranty period, so we're warranting all these films for 30 days. There's a couple I probably wouldn't warranty at all and just say don't even bother buying them, but that's besides the point. The one thing that you'll notice that's missing on the product file is the discount that you offered to GSA. You'll also notice there's no formulas built into these. These are just the prices that you're offering. So because of that, I actually keep, for all of my vendors, the old price proposal template. Most of these fields we don't really need anymore, but we see the time this was awarded or the last modification was done through, your UEI, your vendor name, your contract number. In case you're wondering, I did look it up. This is not a real contract number. This is purely made up based on the date that I started Smith Government Consulting. The SIN, this is a base product, meaning that it is not an accessory. Our manufacturer, the part numbers, all the same stuff that we see on the product file. When you're doing an EPA, you're probably not going to be doing your entire catalog. So there's some different things that I would do for that with VLOOKUP tables and making sure that we're only updating the right items. For this purpose, though, I'm going to make it really simple because you can kind of figure out how to do which items you need to update on your own. But for this one, I'm just going to make it simple and say that everything went up by, let's just say, $7. That's really, again, not realistic. That's not how it's normally going to be. You're going to make sure that your pricing is accurate. But again, for the sake of this one, we're just going to do equals that plus 7. And we're going to drill that formula down. I'm going to copy those numbers and I'm going to replace them here. And always do the values. You don't want to replace with the formulas. So now I have my new commercial price list here and I'm going to delete this column. The reason I really like the old price proposal template is I have my formulas built in. So I know I'm offering 5% discount to state and local government, 10% to GSA. My commercial price, my MFC price, is $35.15 on Fast and Furious #1. Probably a little pricey, but hey, if you really want the movie and you don't want to rent it on iTunes, that's the way to go. I also see that I have a 5% difference in my MFC price and my GSA price. That's really important when you're looking at the price reduction clause because there must always be a minimum of 5% difference in those prices. But then really importantly here, I have my GSA price and my GSA price with my IFF. Again, this is the final price that you're going to be charging your customer. Now, if we look back over here at the product file, these are the three columns that have changed: commercial price list, MFC price, I'm sorry, 4 columns, and my 2 GSA prices with the fee and without the fee. So what I'm going to simply do, I'm going to take all of my new commercial prices. I'm going to copy those, move that off to the other monitor here. And again, I'm going to do a paste values just to make sure that we're getting the exact right stuff. Do the same thing here for my commercial MFC price. Copy. And make sure we put these into the right columns. MFC price. Paste. And finally, my 2 GSA prices. Scroll all the way down. Now, this one, because they're right next to each other, I'm going to copy both at the same time. Come over here, paste values, and now we can see this is the new catalog of what we're offering. Again, some of these are very expensive. I'm not really sure why you would. Well, actually, this is Die Hard. I would definitely pay $60.76 for Die Hard. It is a Christmas movie. Everything else on here has stayed the same. Once this is done, now I have all my new pricing. I'm going to upload this into the FCP, and after a little while, it's going to spit out the CNP, the Compliance and Pricing Report. Anything that comes in here as exceeding market threshold or no market research found or any other kind of violations that it might think that there are, whether it's a country of origin or a prohibited item, that's going to flag on there. We're going to address those flags, resubmit the CNP back through FCP. If there are things that are exceeding market threshold, we're going to want to do a little bit of digging to see, is our price really too high, or is the price report that GSA is pulling showing some dated information that's not quite accurate anymore? And we're going to want to justify that, and we can do another video later on some of those market research tools that I use. But this is the basic way that you're going to use the product file for an EPA mod. If you're doing a price reduction mod, that's a little bit different. We'll cover that in another video as well. But I do hope that this helps. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out anytime. I would love to talk to you. Thanks, and have a great week.